She thought time was a commodity she could store in a bank. She thought she could spend it later. She eventually learned that time is a predator. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't care about your 5-year plan. It just moves. In the world of professional recruitment, we see a specific tragedy. We call it the horizon illusion. It happens to successful people in their late 30s and early 40s. They are at the peak of their powers. They are earning more than ever. They feel invincible. They see the future as a wide, open road. They tell themselves they will start that business someday. They tell themselves they will learn that new technology next year. They think they have time, but the horizon is moving toward them faster than they are moving toward it. It was 2017. She was 39 years old. She was a vice president of marketing for a luxury retail group. She was brilliant. She was stylish. She was the person everyone wanted at their dinner table. She earned $320,000 a year. She had a team of 20. She was the queen of her domain. She had always wanted to start her own consultancy. She had the ideas, she had the network, she had the drive. She even had a name for it. She spoke about it often. She spoke about it at brunch. She spoke about it during late-night drinks with colleagues. "I just need 2 more years," she would say. "I want to hit 1 more big bonus. I want to wait until the kids are a little older. I have time." The recruiters called her constantly. They offered her roles in high-growth e-commerce firms. They offered her roles in AI-driven startups. These were the future roles. They were the ones that required a steep learning curve. They were the ones that would keep her relevant for the next 20 years. She turned them down, every single one. She told them she wasn't ready to jump yet. She told them she wanted to cement her legacy at the retail group. What she actually meant was that she was comfortable. She liked the prestige. She liked the predictable rhythm of her life. She believed her relevance was a permanent state of being. She believed she could stay in the old world and jump to the new world whenever she felt like it. She thought she had time. Let's look at the price of those 2 more years. 2 years became 4. 4 years became 6. By 2021, the world had changed. The luxury retail group was struggling. The legacy world was being eaten alive by digital-first brands. Her skills, once cutting edge, were starting to feel traditional. She knew how to run a photo shoot. She knew how to manage a high street campaign, but she didn't know how to run a data-driven growth loop. She didn't know how to navigate the world of community-led marketing. She didn't worry. She was still a vice president. She was still earning $320,000. She still thought she could pivot whenever she wanted. But then, the biological and professional clock started to sync in a way she hadn't anticipated. Her parents got sick. Suddenly, her weekends weren't for planning her consultancy. They were for driving to doctor's appointments. Her energy levels started to dip. She wasn't 25 anymore. She couldn't work until midnight and wake up at 6 a.m. with a smile. The grind required to start a new business felt heavier than it did in 2017. In 2023, the luxury group announced a massive restructuring. They wanted digital natives. They wanted agile leaders. They wanted people who lived and breathed the future. They didn't want a vice president who was a master of the past. She was laid off. She was 45 years old. She wasn't panicked. She had a great resume. She had a massive network. She decided that now was finally the time. She would start the consultancy. Or she would take one of those high-growth roles she used to turn down. She called the recruiters. She called her old contacts. The silence was deafening. The world had moved on. The high-growth firms she ignored in 2017 were now the giants. And they weren't looking for 45-year-old VPs from the legacy world. They were looking for the 32-year-olds who had built those firms from the ground up. They wanted people who had the scar tissue of the digital revolution. Her network, once her greatest asset, had aged with her. Her friends were also being laid off. They were also struggling to stay relevant. They couldn't help her because they were too busy trying to help themselves. She tried to start the consultancy, but she realized she was 6 years too late. The market was saturated. The ideas she had in 2017 were now common knowledge. The young brands didn't want her legacy perspective. They wanted someone who understood their language. They wanted someone who was in it, not someone who was looking in from the outside. She sat in her home office, the same office where she had dreamed about her consultancy for a decade. She realized the truth. She hadn't been waiting for the perfect moment. She had been waiting for a moment that had already passed. In recruitment, we call this the relevance half-life. Your value in the market doesn't stay the same. It decays. Every year you spend in a stagnant environment, you lose a piece of your future. You think you are building experience. But if that experience isn't applicable to the future, you are just building baggage. She thought she was being responsible by staying. She thought she was being safe. But in a fast-moving economy, the only thing that is safe is motion. By standing still, she became a target. I see this woman every week. She is the one who waited for the bonus. She is the one who waited for the kids to graduate. She is the one who thought her talent was a fixed asset. They don't understand that the window of opportunity is a physical thing. It has a beginning and an end. For most high-level pivots, that window is between 35 and 42. That is when you have the perfect mix of experience, energy, and marketability. Once you pass 45 without having made the jump, the market starts to view you as finished. It is unfair. It is ageist. It is cruel. But it is the reality of the cold, efficient job market. She spent 18 months looking for a role. She eventually took a job as a director at a mid-sized firm. It was 2 levels below her old title. Her salary was $180,000. It was a $140,000 pay cut. She has to work for people who used to report to her. She has to prove herself every day to people who don't care about her legacy. She is tired, she is bitter, and she is haunted by the ghost of the woman she was in 2017. The recruiter's perspective is this: time is not your friend, it is your competitor. You think you have time to start that business. You don't. You think you have time to learn that new skill. You don't. You think the market will wait for you to be ready. It won't. The best time to jump is when you feel like you aren't ready. The best time to start is when you are still important in your old world. Because once you aren't important anymore, no one will help you build the new one. She traded her prime years for the comfort of a VP title in a dying industry. She sold her future for a series of bonuses that she has already spent. Every decision has a cost. Some we pay in the anxiety of the new. Others we pay in the slow, agonizing realization that we are no longer needed. She chose the second one. She chose the not yet. She is now 47. She watches the Web3 and AI founders on the news. They are the age she was when she first thought about leaving. She realizes that she could have been one of them. She had the head start. She had the capital. She had the name. But she thought she had time. The most expensive thing you can say is next year. Next year is a graveyard of careers. It is where ambition goes to rot. If you are waiting for a sign, this is it. The window is closing. The horizon is moving. The phone will eventually stop ringing. She didn't believe me when I told her that in 2017. She believes me now, but now it doesn't matter. Success is about acting before the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is usually the moment right before it becomes too late. She waited for the perfect moment. She ended up with a severance check and a lot of what ifs. Every decision has a price. Some we pay in the fear of the jump. Others we pay in the silence of a phone that no longer rings. She paid in the silence, and it is the loudest sound she has ever heard. What are you waiting for? The kids will never be old enough. The bonus will never be big enough. The market will never be stable enough. Jump now, or stay long enough to watch your office become a museum. She stayed. She became a relic. Don't let time be your master. Be the master of your time, because later is just a polite word for never.